Hey everybody, so today is going to be February empty. Let's start with the nails. I finished my SE top coat from the Gel Couture line. I am not going to be repurchasing this because I found something I enjoy quite a lot more and is a lot cheaper than this one. I'll tell you later what it is. But this one, it was not bad. I enjoyed it. It did make my nails look more jelly-like because it was a thicker coat of a top coat, but although I did like it and it dried reasonably fast, not the fastest drying, but not the slowest either, I think I'll pass on it for next time. I finished 3 colored polishes. First of all, I finished Tuck It in My Tux by Essie. If you're watching my project polish, you will see my gradual progress, and finally I'm out of it. The formula was quite thin. It was not a peg, it was sheer, but it was sheer, but not a good kind of sheer where it self-levels and just looks squishy and nice and half transparent. This looked streaky all the time. It remained very liquidy until the end. It started getting weird at the end of my use of it, and started taking longer to dry. I was really fed up with it. I will never repurchase this particular formula. I love white nails in general, so definitely I still have in my collection certain white polishes that I want to continue using. Next one was this glitter bomb from OPI called Snow Globetrotter. This is very shimmery. I didn't have very much left to begin with, and then I used sponging because it was just a gloopy mess at that point and I didn't want to create a really thick nail. So that's what I'm finding once I'm sort of halfway through a glitter polish. I start having to sponge it on because it just gets too thick and the base looks weird and too thick on the nail. I'm happy to have this out of my collection and out of my project polish. Next one is a red. This is Guerlain's 121. I love this polish. I used it up, every single bit of it, and it's one of my favorite reds. I might repurchase it in the future. I have so many reds that I'm not sure when that will be, but the formula, the brush, the consistency, everything about this polish was absolutely perfect and on par. So I am actually inclined to say that it's so perfect that it is worth the money. However, I find that there are so many reds out there, you can always find something more budget friendly, but this polish was absolutely beautiful. You could get away with it on one coat. I like to do it in 2 because I liked the texture of 2 coats better than the texture of a single coat. The brush on it is this rounded petal brush, very wide, my favorite kind, and it never really got gloopy enough for me to have to use thinner with it. I was able to use it up completely. Also such a nice touch. The formula stayed perfect all the way through. Now some of the makeup that I am letting go of and that I have used up. First of all, this little Smashbox palette. This is Photo Op Eyeshadow Trio in Screenshot. It's like this. I really love Smashbox Photo Op shadows. They're some of my favorite shadows ever. And the colors are so neutral, you would think that it'd be so easy to wear. However, I did give it a good go. You can see that I have quite significant dips going in those colors, but the problem being the tiny size of pans. I know it's a sample size, but the pans are so small that my nice brushes just get mangled up using this particular tiny palette. I have Photo Op shadows, so I thought to myself, why am I torturing myself? It's hard to use. My brushes don't like it, so I'm just going to let it go, maybe give it away or maybe toss it, I'm not sure yet, but definitely this is just too inconvenient to use. The formula itself is fantastic, the color selection is very nice, the size of the pan is what makes me let go of it, and I just don't want to deal with it basically. I finished a Holy Grail kind of product. This is, I think it's called Browsing by Clinique. This is their eyebrow gel. Mine is in 03 Deep Brown. You get this tiny little brow brush that distributes the color fantastically. You have fibers in there. It's kind of similar to the Benefit, but I actually like the Clinique version better. I think they did a better job with the formulation. I love this little guy. Currently I'm using sort of a substitute. Tony Moly Coloring Brow Cara, but I like this a lot less than I like this, so I will be repurchasing that little guy as soon as I'm out of this little guy. So yes, absolutely will repurchase, have repurchased. So far hadn't used a brow mascara that was better than this one. I used up another mascara, just a regular lash mascara. This was the Hypnose Drama by Lancome. I've used a sample of it previously, and I have to say that I was not as impressed as I am this time around. Therefore, I only can conclude that the previous sample was not good. This guy did not flake. That's what happened previously, but I loved the brush. You get really nice, fluffy, separated lashes with that one. It's not as black as I like it. That's the drawback. That's why I didn't make it into the Holy Grail status. It needs to be blacker for me to really, really love it. Much less maybe glossy. It's slightly glossy, perhaps. That's why it's not as pitch black as I like mascara to be. But the application is really, really easy and fun to use. The brush is easily separating the lashes. They turn out fluffy, they turn out quite thick. Beautiful, beautiful mascara. I do recommend it if you enjoy an easy application, but I have to say that the color is not as black as I usually like it, and it isn't. And it is called in excessive black, so I'm guessing they probably don't carry anything darker than that. Next few products are from my project pan, and I have 4 over here. First of all, Clinique Acne Solutions BB Cream, very fluid, light coverage, very skin-like foundation. And it is at SPF 40, so really nice for the summer. I think Clinique did a fantastic job with that one. I don't have acne issues, but it was just such a pleasure to use. It glided on easily. I worked it with the tips of my fingers into the skin because I think it's so fluid that either a brush or a sponge would just completely get rid of the product and you will have no coverage. With tips of your fingers, this applies extremely nicely. It's such an easy, no-brainer product, blends itself basically. Unfortunately, I think it's exclusive to Sephora, but don't quote me on that, but I think that's the case. I might buy it again actually. Right now I have quite a few bases, tinted moisturizers, and various incarnations of makeup to use up. But in the future, I am not ruling out purchasing this. I might. It's actually that good. I might repurchase. I finished up a bronzer. This was MAC Bronzer in Aphrodite's Shell from the Aquatics collection. I'm so glad that it's gone. The color was a bit off, so I don't even know how I powered through it without really loving the color. I'm getting rid of my Chanel quad in 224 Tissé Riviera. The quality was really nice. I set a goal of finishing this pink shade, and I did. It's completely done. The silver shade I've been using for a while, and the other shades, basically, I don't really wear this on its own anymore since the pink is gone, and I've created significant dents in all the other colors except maybe the blue, because I don't really wear blue very frequently on my eyes. I have to say that was a nice quad, but I'm over it, I'm done with it, and its expiration date has come. It's only good for 18 months, it says on the back of the quad, and I've definitely had it for about 2 years, so it's time to let it go. I finished a powder. This is my probably holy grail powder of all times. This is Guerlain Lingerie Dépôt, and my color was pale beige #1, so the lightest that they carry. I finished it completely. This is a refillable pan, so I will just buy a refill. Packaging is so luxurious that I completely understand why they are making it refillable, because it's basically pristine still, and I've had it already like worth of a full use, and I've carried it in my bag, and even the gold printing is still intact, so you can tell just the quality of the pan, the quality of the powder compact is fantastic. Therefore, it's going to last for a really long time. I'm going to buy a new pan, but my pan for this summer is going to be 02 because 01 is going to be too pale. My idea was to use it up for winter, the palest color, which I did. So now I'm going to be moving on a color up for the next season. Love this product. It glides super nicely over dry skin, sits fantastically, sits very smoothly, doesn't catch on dry patches, doesn't accentuate issues with dry skin, and it can be worn as a light base. If you don't have major issues, you can wear that and an under eye brightener as your full face of makeup. You don't even need a base because it does have a certain amount of light tint, and the texture is really, really nice. So that's it. I hope it was fun for you. I'll see you later. Bye bye.